Holidays of the Iliac Bay. Thethai. The region of the Iliac Bay has a rich history, and not surprisingly, a number of holidays unique to it because of this history. The Breton and the Red Guard cultures have many similarities, but just as many distinctions. An analysis of the holidays is one way to study the people. As any schoolchild could tell you, the Red Guards are a relatively new culture to Tamriel. Their arrival from their homeland is actually well recorded, though it occurred several thousand years ago in the 808th year of the First Era. Hammerfell was a great desert encompassed by almost impassable mountains, unclaimed and unwanted. Many of the holidays extant in modern Hammerfell seem to be direct translations of older Red Guard festivals before their migration to Tamriel. The orgiastic seasonal celebrations seem unusual in a province with few changes in the weather from month to month. Yet on the 28th of Sun's Dawn, the Red Guards of the Banthan jungle celebrate Aduros Now to relieve the wintertide lethargy. On the 1st of mid-year, the people of Abibongora celebrate Drig Rizim in honor of the sun, which no normal Red Guard worships in this day. Similarly, on the 29th of Sun's Height, the festival in the desert called Fiery Night seems almost perverse in such an environment. The Kumu Alazeri, on the 11th of last seed in Sentinel, has been translated as a harvest thanksgiving, though many scholars have suggested that it was once a springtide holiday. Similarly, the Feast of the Tiger in the Bantha on the 14th of last seed was probably once a religious holiday to a tiger god instead of a thanksgiving. Other old Red Guard holidays have either been acknowledged as part of the old culture or adjusted to fit with the climate of Hammerfell. The Serpent's Dance, for example, of Sadakalam is patently an old festival honoring a serpent god of the homeland who evidently did not survive the journey to Hammerfell. The significance of the date, the 3rd of Sun's Dusk, has been lost with the serpent priests. Baranth Do on the 18th of Evening Star and Chilla on the 24th of the same month are both New Year's festivals. Most likely, they have been moved from their original dates to correspond with the notion of the year defined in Tamriel. The Bretons have been in Tamriel since before recorded history. Their holidays have remained almost unchanged since primitive times, though new holidays have been created to replace those which have lost popularity. The oldest holidays still observed in High Rock must include Waking Day on the 18th of Morning Star, when the people of the Yorth Burrowland wake the spirits of nature after the winter, very nearly in the tradition of their more reverential ancestors. Flower Day, held on the 25th of First Seed in the smaller villages of High Rock, is most likely just as older or older. The old cult of the flower is also remembered as Guardtide in Tamerlan Point on the 1st of Rain's Hand. Daggerfall's Day of the Dead on the 13th of Rain's Hand suggests the ancestor worship that marked the Breton religion of antiquity. Finally, the ancient goddess of the moons, Secunda, is remembered in the Moon Festival in Glenumbra Moors on the 8th of Sun's Dusk, just as the nights begin to grow longer. The more recently created holidays of High Rock are those like Tibaditha, Tiber's Day, celebrated every 24th of mid-year, in honor of Alcair's most famous sun, Tiber Septim. Likewise, Uthroktide on the 5th of Sun's Dawn is held in honor of the first and most illustrious Baron of Dwinnen. In quite extreme contrast, Mark's Day on the 9th of Second Seed is a solemn holiday, immortalizing the lessons of the equally solemn First-Era prophet Maruk. My favorite of the modern Breton festivals has to be Mad Pelagius, held in mock honor of the most eccentric of the Septim Emperors. Pelagius was, after all, a prince of Wayrest before he became king of Solitude, and then emperor of Tamriel. The Bretons like to boast that it was his time in High Rock that drove him mad.